Hey, Crash here. Today we're talking about trail braking. Before you go nuts, just listen to me. We're going to talk a little bit about what it is. And all it is a transition from brake to throttle and when it happens. Classically, the MSF and other training organizations use a function called slurp or slipper. That means slow before the turn, look where you're going, press on the inside handle grip, and then roll. That's slipper. Now the other is slurp, which is slow look, roll, press. Here's the difference. It's when the transition happens onto gas. Listen, I'll run slurp first, slow look, roll, press. And now we'll run slipper, which is slow look, press, roll. You'll notice that in the slipper, the press happens, the bike starts to turn, and then you get on the gas. In slurp, the bike accelerates and then turns. That way you're not leaning at all when you're adding gas. You are already transitioned fully on to throttle. Now, the other option is where you put that transition, and that's trail braking. Here's one. I'm going to be kind of sloppy on this one. I'm going to come in, watch the rear tire as the bike lifts and gets light, and then settles back down. Yep, right there. That's where I got on the gas. And you want that to be smooth. Here's the same curve with a smooth transition in trail braking. So let's run them all three side by side and listen for when the transition to throttle happens. The idea is to keep the back end settled, and if you notice, here's a turn that I'm just trying to do it just as right as I can, and since the camera's mounted on the frame, you'll see that there's not a lot of suspension travel here. The back end isn't getting really light. It's staying nice and smooth, and that's what you're looking to do, whether you're using slurp, slipper, or just traditional trail braking. The reason you want it to be settled is this. I'm going to go into a roundabout, and there's a drain in the middle of this thing, so watch what happens to the suspension. Yeah, it takes a big hit, but since I'm not in transition, it's not overly light, it's not overly heavy, it just sucks it up and doesn't have a problem. And so what we're really talking about when we talk about trail braking is when does the transition happen and how smoothly can you get it done. That's all it is. The reason this is important is because when you are braking and turning or applying throttle, which is called driving force, and turning, you're using a lot of traction, which is why you don't want to overspend that traction. Braking before takes that braking problem all out of the equation. Trail braking is just more complex and therefore more risky, especially for newer riders. That's it for me. Be safe. Oh, here's some added content. I was out in this parking lot, and right here, now watch. Right here, you see that? That was the front end letting go. Yeah, unfortunately, the bike wasn't overloaded on the front, so everything cleaned up with a little bit of a wiggle. Here's the same thing on my driveway. I'm coming home, and I get on the brakes really hard, and there it is. Yeah, that big puff of dust back there, where the front end locked. And I let go, and it picked back up again, straightened out, and kept riding. Another rule, don't panic, and you'll be better off.